So what's our next meaty topic?
Trailers.
Oh boy,
A lot of trailers.
Trailers.
Have you seen any of these?
I did. I made sure to watch them.
Oh, really?
Because we listed them out, all the ones, and I hadn't heard of these. I hadn't heard of Congress, and I hadn't heard.
Oh, you had.
of,
What did you think of the Congress trailer?
that looked bonkers.
It's pretty fascinating,
that
isn't it?
looked
Yeah.
really
Isn't
cool.
it just it
I-
the trailer came out a while ago, but no one seems to be picking up on it, noticing it, commenting on it.
It was because it was showed. It was at the Cannes Film Festival. It debuted at the Cannes Film Festival. Got mixed word of mouth. And for those of you who don't know what it's about, Robin Wright is an actress, plays Robin Wright,
Yeah.
who sells her
likeness.
because she's starting to slide. It's this whole discussion of, as you get older as an actress, you're not as sexy anymore, so they don't want, so people aren't going to pay to see you, et cetera, et cetera. So let them capture your likeness so you can always stay young on screen. And you'll be acting forever, and you'll continually be bringing in money, et cetera, et cetera. But the film then veers into a very bizarre. It's partial live action, and then other
Hybrid animation.
hybrid, but like not CGI, lifelike computer animation. It's this really brilliant stylized animation form. Very almost 60s acid trip in a way. It's by the gentleman who made Waltz with Bashir, right?
Yes, it is.
So the Congress. So you saw the trailer for the first time.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of Sim 1 or Simone, the Al Pacino film
yeah.
he created.
Yeah.
It's an interesting commentary. Like Harrison Ford comes to mind when you think of actors and actresses that like their likeness has been reused.
Yes.
And I remember it's always a big deal about like when they're making figures or when they did like the ride at Disneyland. That it was like his face but not his voice.
Right.
And
Oh,
like,
there's one moment in the trailer when she stops and she pauses to look at herself in the Princess Bride.
Yeah.
And it's like that isn't like a reflection of where she is at
Sure.
now. But I love Robin Wright Penn, and I don't know if you
That's
guys
just her film right
watched House of Cards.
Yeah.
no, I haven't seen it yet.
She's so amazing in
Yeah,
it,
she's
and
fantastic
she looks great, and she's so cool.
Well, I love when people. I wouldn't necessarily say it's like making fun of themselves, but
Sure.
are self-aware.
Oh, self-aware.
Are willing to. And I wonder if she was involved in the production, or if they wrote it for like question mark actress and she got
exactly.
involved, or if she was involved from the beginning.
I think it was actually it's based on a novel, which I just only learned yesterday after we were.
So we
talking
don't
about
know
this.
if the
But
characters.
and I
Robin
think
Wright
it's
Penn
also a
novel.
very relevant topic. We're almost kind of past some of the things that they're bringing up because we just
Yeah.
had the new commercial with Bruce Lee that came out.
Yeah.
That like it was interesting. I saw the headline where they were like eerie commercial with Bruce Lee, and I'm like, that looks terrible.
Yeah.
Like that. There's one shot where it's like the back of his head that I was like, maybe that could be a person. But like everything else was like, oh, this is a neat video game. When's this coming out?
And they've been doing stuff like that for years. There was Fred Astaire dancing with a mop. Do you remember that one
Yeah,
from several
commercial.
years ago? And then there was one recently with that had, I felt like it had Audrey Hepburn and a bunch of other people interacting with, oh God, some actress, like interacting with Scarlett Johansson or something like that for a perfume ad, I can't remember what it was. And it had like a young Elizabeth Taylor. I think it had Marilyn Monroe in it. It had a bunch of them, and it was all very. It still feels real piecemeal. Doesn't work.
And all those are tied to the estate, so you really
Yeah.
have to like consider that when if you're a famous face, it's like what am I going to do with my legacy after I'm gone? It's
Yeah.
like, do I really care if people are using that? Or,
Yeah, especially
My
now in the way
grandkids
that
pay me out to dance with a mop.
it can be manipulated in a way that I'm sure no one 50 years ago projected that they could be manipulated.
Yeah.
I
They
know
didn't
Audrey
think about
Hepburn
that.
thought that she would be.
Yeah, interesting topic. It was funny. I could feel the animation coming in the trailer. Like, when
Right.
she like got into the system, I was like, oh, cool, we're gonna get like a CG Robin Wright Penn, and then she
Right.
turned to the
weird
Dorothy from
yeah.
the Wizard of Oz and flew off into the clouds. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
never mind. That's
Yeah,
it
it's-
looks very interesting.
And what's the release date on that?
Oh, it premiered at Cannes, right?
Right.
I
October-ish,
check that out.
November-ish? Don't worry about it. It's fine.
No,
We'll move on.
I'm going crazy.
Okay, never mind. While she looks up the release date on the Congress.
What's the next trailer?
Walter Mitty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller wrote, I believe
Directed it.
He directed it, stars as Walter Mitty, remake of the Danny Kaye film.
My wife's a big Danny Kaye fan.
Really?
And this passed her bar. She saw that. I think she knew it was being put together, and
Yeah.
she saw it in theaters. So she, I always think there's a big difference between like if you find out about an announcement on the internet or in
Right.
theaters.
Right.
'Cause if a trailer starts, like, oh, it's this, and then like that moment,
Right.
of recognition,
Yeah.
like
Right.
that can really stick with you
Yeah.
throughout an advertising campaign.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't know what it is, but I'm just excited about this movie. Whereas like if you see it on like some website, it's like, oh, I get the title, okay, so you
Right.
know from frame
and you
one,
get this,
like,
you get the
I'm
snarky
expecting it to
paragraph
happen.
and everything else like that.
Where
yeah.
when he, in the trailer, he like, pops out of the, Himalayan mountains or something
right.
and goes to rescue her, and like
Right.
that moment really, threw people off guard
Yeah.
when they saw it in the theaters.
Yeah, it's a fascinating trailer.
But she's excited, and she's a
I love
huge
Danny
Danny
Kaye.
Kaye fan.
White
So
Christmas.
I thought
Really?
she'd be
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Ben Stiller, but
Right.
she thinks it looks adorable, and I think it's great. I think I'm in. It's kind of what I was excited for R.I.P.D. Like I'm in the mood for a comedy with special effects, or
Right.
like kind of a whimsical.
Right.
Yeah, you
thing
compared it
that's-
to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless
It's got
Mind.
the trailer
that-
itself has a very kind of, and it's got that. I've been hearing this word a lot recently, and because I don't like the word twee, but the song that they use for it, it's really kind of emotionally trying to hit you at
Yeah.
a certain level of
sure.
Quirky indie.
a quirky kind of intellectual comedy that you're like, okay, I got it. There's going to be some it's going to be heartwarming, or not even heartwarming.
And-
There's going to be some solemn kind of thinking about what is my existence here and what is it that I really want out of my own life,
I
etc.
think everyone identifies that with the monotony of everyday life, and then trying to make yourself something bigger than what you think
Oh,
that
sure.
you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know.
That's why I go out dressed as a superhero and beat up bums on the weekend.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Classic
You're not gonna be
Sam
able to
show.
do
Did I just
for
say
very long.
that? No.
your secret identity revealed.
Dun dun dun. So yeah, Walter Mitty comes out Christmas Day, I believe.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Which is going to be exciting. And I hate to say it, the very first Ben Stiller film in quite a while, actually, that I'm kind of
Yeah, but he's great.
He's fantastic. He's a fantastic actor. I just don't think he always picks the best projects.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are other reasons
The
for him
it
to
is-
choose them
Tower
sometimes.
Heist probably
The
was
Tower- yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Tower
Both
Heist.
of his Night in the Museum films were.
Films,
I saw
yeah.
the first
But-
one. I didn't see the second one.
Yeah.
I thought he directed Tropic Thunder, and I thought he did a great
That's
job.
true.
yeah, yeah.
Tropic Thunder was a fantastic piece of work.
And Zoolander's still one of the
Yeah.
funniest movies I've ever
Yep.
seen.
Yep.
So.
Though there is that rumor that he's going to potentially be directing Robert Downey Jr. in the Pinocchio film.
Yeah, that's a
which-
bizarre.
The funniest rumor to me was that Robert Downey Jr. would be portraying both Pinocchio and Geppetto,
Yeah.
which I think is a testament to his
Yeah.
acting capability.
There's enough ego to put both of those on
Yeah.
screen.
But I don't know that that's actually true.
No,
I think that's just
I don't understand the whole Pinocchio thing because the Roberto Benigni did a Pinocchio several years ago that was a
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
bomb and it
Yeah.
was horrible.
I never
Like, and
thought
then-
Pinocchio was one of the better Disney.
And,
I'm
well, and
trying
then
to
there's
get
like
scathing
was
comments. but-
Jonathan Taylor Thomas and
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Martin Landau.
Nice.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, that yanked that. That was the video. I still remember that awful video case for it, the clamshell video box for it from the store. And that was literally only the Disney Pinocchio, just the cartoon is the only one that's like has any merit for me whatsoever.
It's funny. I just watched some specials on the DVD that I had for Pinocchio, and one guy pointed out that at the end, through the whole last sequence, Pinocchio breathes underwater and then gets hit with a wave and drowns. So there you go. The
Take
ending
a
of
moment.
Pinocchio's ruined. So
That's
now there's
deep.
no Pinocchio films that you like.
Wow.
Now Pinocchio's my favorite Disney
That
film.
means something.
so-
It's a fantastic. I really Dumbo.
And
I gotta go for Dumbo.
I actually had the thought the other day where I was like, it'd be really cool. It'd be cool if they like did a modern Pinocchio. Oh wait, Spielberg did, and it was terrible.
Yeah,
so
everybody's
I am
tried
attracted to the idea of like doing something interesting with that,
one. Yeah,
that
I
story.
I
but
just don't think
maybe
it
that's
works.
not it.
Yeah, I don't
Speaking
think
of
that's the
big
one.
egos, though, we can
Yeah.
move on to
You're right.
American Hustle.
American
Um,
Hustle.
that's
I've
got
been
a-
describing
which-
it as Boogie Nights meets Wolf of Wall Street.
Sure. Yeah,
That-
it definitely is an
that
awesome
vibe.
Boogie Nights vibe. Me love some Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
But the cast in this movie, I mean,
It's pretty mind-numbing.
I think it's
Yeah.
one of those. It's one of those trailers that very smartly is like, look who we got.
got,
Like
yeah.
specifically when they
Yeah.
do the cast.
I
it's
have
like,
the
can you
cast here.
believe?
Jennifer Lawrence, Christian Bale, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro, and then I noticed Louis C.K.
Yeah.
on the IMDb. I just had to
But,
throw
like,
him in because he's great.
Jennifer Lawrence was clearly like the ace at the
Oh, yeah.
end. And
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and Jeremy Renner, and Jennifer
And
Lawrence.
Jennifer
Like, oh, Full House.
Although
Yeah.
Christian Bale, people give Bale flack back for the whole now kind of whole shit.
But he's
right?
being that character.
He's
in this
being that
movie.
character in the movie,
You- yeah.
and his comb
They
over.
didn't even write a script for him.
Yeah, his comb over is genius. That comb, that whole, that it's so brilliant. Like, if I had hair, I would shave my head, grow this long, and do the comb over just because it's so ridiculous. And I love that he gets away with that.
But you can, I mean, I can understand, I think, where that guy flipped out because he is so like psychotically committed.
Oh, yeah.
to
Oh,
a
completely.
project when
Yeah.
he gets involved. Like I don't
Yeah.
know if you ever saw The Machinist, but
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
like complete opposite end of the
guy's-
spectrum
yeah.
as far
And
as like
he's-
physically getting ready for
Yeah.
a role. And like this is the same guy, who had like a 24-inch round bicep and
Yep.
like Batman Begins,
And
he's
went
just like,
from The Machinist to Batman Begins training like right after. I mean, that was
Crazy.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
His diet was like
so
an
yeah,
apple
very
and
committed.
coffee.
Just Bradley Cooper's hair alone. Like,
Yeah.
God, that movie looks great.
No, it's David O. Russell's I mean, that guy's been on a roll since The Fighter came out. He's had, 2 for 2 with Silver Linings Playbook. We'll see if this is 3
This
for
hits.
3. Fingers crossed. But
And
yeah, it
excellent,
looks-
excellent trailer. Really
It's a
great,
great, it's a great
really
trailer.
good
Gets
vibe.
gets you real pumped.
And
Yeah.
they got Zeppelin. They got a Zeppelin song. They got a Zeb. I don't know what that cost.
And it's interesting because actually I'm a big I hate it when people just grab a song and they'll throw it in and like end of the day. And they actually didn't like cut around that song that much, but it's like just the way the lines that they picked and where they did and when they chose to kind of like pump up the song or put it underneath the dialogue. Great pace in that trailer.
It worked well.
Well done. One more we have.
One more. Bad Milo.
We're going to
Milo. The guy from the state who I wish I knew his name. Ken Marino.
Wet Hot
He's
American
great.
Summer. State. I love Ken Marino. I
Emerson
want nothing
State.
but success for him.
So explain to us the Bad Milo.
So it's essentially a horror comedy about a man who learns that he's developing these unusual stomach problems, and then he learns that it's the instigator of these is a demon living in his small intestine. Named Milo.
And he has to learn to deal with him. And when he gets too upset, Milo ejects himself from his.
It's kind of like Ted, but you got a demon up your butt.
It's an interesting trend. We're getting Hell Baby.
So like Hell Baby, which I actually saw Hell Baby last week, and it's okay. It's not great, but it's okay.
The trailer's such a toss-up because it could go either way. It's really hard to tell.
It's a bad trailer. I mean, talking about good trailers and bad trailers, it's a bummer when you see like an independent film that this seems like an interesting project, but God, they should have just gotten a better trailer. I don't know. It's like, was the trailer produced? It's like, does a B movie deserve a B trailer? You know,
right.
Can you make too good of a trailer?
When
for
the trailer for
film?
Atlantic Rim, is shockingly impressive.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a Bad Milo. Did you ever see Basket Case?
No.
There was a 1982 film, Basket Case. I wrote down the director's name, Frank Henenlotter. It's about a guy who had a Siamese twin that was a mutant, and it got removed by a doctor, and so he's now carrying it around New York in a basket, and it's the same kind of looks like Milo, and it'll escape and go commit revenge on the people that done him wrong as a child. But it's got that same odd feel to it, except of course this one's. It's coming out of his tuchus.
But I think it's
I don't know.
When you blend genres like this, there's always the fear that like you'll start to bring in people from different sides of the coin that won't be interested because it's too much of one or the other. Like so there's horror fans that are like, cool horror movie, and they go and like it's not that gory. It's kind of more of a comedy. Whereas like comedy fans are like, oh, this looks funny and irreverent and indie, and they go and it's like actually kind of bloody and weird, and it's not.
You
really
need to hit the Dale Tucker balance.
Yeah.
For this one.
But I just remember when the guys who made Super Troopers made a horror film and they didn't work.
Oh, Club Dread.
Club Dread.
It's tough to blend comedy and horror and pull it off. We'll see.
It's rarely pulled off, unfortunately. And it tends to lean in one direction or the other. Let's move on from trailers. Let's get to Ms. Elise's passion.
Miss Elise's.
Miss Elise's.
Did I tell you guys I caught Miss Elise's this weekend?
No, really?
That's really bad.
Shot a penicillin. Clear that right up.
Yeah.
So Elise, you have an obsession.
Snowpiercer. Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Go ahead.
I guess it's kind of the running office thing that I love, or I'm highly anticipating the film Snowpiercer, which is this. Have you seen the trailer for Snowpiercer or anything? It's adapted from a French graphic novel, Le Transpersonnage, which translates directly to Snow Train, and it's a Korean production. It's the director from The Host. Park Chan-wook is producing, and then it has like Kang Ho-sung, who like Good, the Bad, the Weird. He's been in a lot of like Park Chan-wook's Revenge trilogy. But essentially, global warming has caused the Earth to essentially be inhabitable. So they've the global government or whatever has attempted to reverse this by, I don't know, releasing some kind of nuclear blast. It's kind of unclear. You can't really find the book. It hasn't been translated into English. And the French graphic novels are like $50 a piece on random websites, but I'm rambling now about this.
Okay.
So essentially, like, this attempt to reverse global warming fails, inadvertently causing a new ice age. The only safe haven is this train, the Snowpiercer, that is traversing the entire...
Thank God it was named the Snowpiercer, by the way.
Traversing the entire globe. And, everything else outside is you can't live, essentially.
So we're on a planet of ice.
Planet of ice.
With a train that is continually...
Is it the Coors Light train?
No. I don't know.
Because I've heard that can withstand low temperatures.
That would be the one,
Sometimes
actually.
produce them even.
I believe the same engineers worked on both of those.
Good.
Yeah. And
then the train
circles
the train
the
is
globe
powered by
somehow.
this perpetual motion engine, which has this like you know,
and the rich
reverent
people.
quality to it. And the train is divided by classes, so the rich are in the front and the poor are in the back.
Oh,
And
okay.
essentially, I describe it to people as like V for Vendetta meets Unstoppable meets The Day After Tomorrow.
I don't know if
Meets
that's a
Under Siege 2
Yeah,
Dark Territory.
meets-
I just want to throw that out there.
Meets Freddy versus Jason 2 meets Sando loves when I talk about Snowpiercer. It's probably the highlight of his day.
reference. Oh my god. Yeah, meets Silver Streak, meets Runaway Train.
Babe 2 Pig in the City. It's just
Really? See that? I'd watch
No.
the shit out of that movie.
So-
it's,
So is there someone trying to like sabotage the train? Is it like
essentially
is the train
there's
running
a
out of gas?
revolt
Like, what's
staged
oh, okay.
from the
They're trying to get from the rear to the front.
Right.
you know, you control the engine, you control the train.
Yeah, totally.
That's essentially what it comes down to.
I'm sold. By the way, you've sold me.
Hopefully we were able to cover that really creatively with B-roll. Snowpiercer, I mean,
When Pierce Air du Blanc.
Just white.
Yeah,
Just
right.
big
Just
screen of
white.
white.
Yeah.
but yeah, so the film premiered in Korea August 1st. The entire cast went over there for it.
What's American release date? Do we know? Have they not figured that out?
Unconfirmed. This is kind of, I guess, an partial update as to this. No release date confirmed. You cannot pre-order tickets for this film. No new trailer. There, you know, really, you can't read the graphic novel.
And if people want to help you get to Korea to see this movie,
Oh, well,
how do we
I
go
mean, I
about
guess I could
contacting
go
you?
see it. I wouldn't be able to make the premiere. It's already happened. So yeah, I mean, I would have liked to have done some crowdfunding to get over there, but unfortunately, that's just wasn't in the cards.
Worst
Can we just
Kickstarter
add a
ever.
segment to the show moving forward that's just the Snowpiercer update?
She did it
think
last
that's-
week's. It was at the
we-
very end of last
We
week's
have like an
episode.
animated
Yeah.
train that goes by with insert, and now for the Snowpiercer
I
update.
think this was just to familiarize all 14 people watching this with what Snowpiercer is.
Now it's
so that
bringing
the
two
13
people other than you and I,
That's
so
right.
they can offer their opinion about
Yeah,
Snowpiercer,
so
yeah.
that the 13 watching next week will know. But yeah, so just hang tight. 2014, it's come. It's you know it's
coming down the
It's
track.
like a
It's
train
gonna be off the
barreling down
rails.
the tracks. How does it stay on? Never mind.
That's not for us to know.
It's gonna ice over the tracks.
How
and
does
then-
it get to other continents?
That's the other thing that I like. Well, I mean, I guess everything's frozen now, and then you had to have
Oh, yeah.
dudes lay down the
Yeah.
track. That's got to be the shittiest job on
It
the
lays
planet.
the track down in front like grommet.
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
and it's just
exactly.
like-
Yeah. It pulls like a grommet or like the General or something like that. Buster Keaton's just in front, just like continually throwing ties down in front of the train as
I'm
they move
sure
forward.
we're gonna get pretty tons of awesome shots of the train just smashing through ice.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Don't worry.
Thank God.
It's gonna-
There hasn't been
It's
enough
actually-
of that in my life.
The reviews are really excellent, and they're saying that it's incredibly dark. And
It takes place at night. Sorry. Go on.
You think with all the reflective snow,
No, yeah,
it'd be
exactly.
kind of bright, blinding even.
Is it thematically? It's dark.
I'd rather not talk about Snowpiercer anymore.
Okay.
Was the Snowpiercer like going to be the rest of our topic for the whole rest of
It
the podcast?
kind of is. Yeah,
We
it's
don't have
like
anything else,
topics
do
like
we?
3, 4, and 5.
Well,
in there. Oh,
You're all out of Snowpiercer.
We have to talk about Snowpiercer for
I know.
at least 10 more minutes.
Give us more Snowpiercer. Go.
no, I got nothing. I mean, that's really everything that has.
Who-
There's been some cool featurettes released. Oh, there was a really awesome animated little prequel short released detailing what happened to cause the Ice Age.
Oh, well, that's good. That'll
really
come in
cool.
handy. What about the cast?
Chris Evans, Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris.
Oh, really? Ed Harris?
Yeah,
is in
Ed
it?
Harris.
That I did not know. That's exciting, actually.
Yeah,
I
and
like
then
me some
Kang Ho
Harris.
Sung.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty stellar cast, I would say.
Yes. And it's in English.
It will be in. I think 80% of the film is in English,
Leaving 20% in.
probably Korean.
All right.
Or international languages, who knows?
In other random animated nerd news, I saw this morning that the next Riddick film has
the motion
a
comic?
motion comic.
Have you watched it yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
I was very disappointed. I think I believe it seems to me like it's a deleted scene or something from the beginning of the movie that they decided to cut out.
It very may well be.
And it's calling it a motion comic is really giving it a lot of credit. It really is kind of it feels as if like you would have made the characters in third grade with those little brass brads at their joints, and it's like, and then I went in, I took over with the knife. And, it's just really kind of like it's not pretty. So yeah, it's out there. It's out there.
It
But
exists.
I guess kind of explains like why
how
at the end of the second Riddick film,
Right,
was, like,
he is the
master of the universe.
Yeah, he's
essentially,
he's the head of the necromongers.
right, and in the third
And-
movie he's not.
No, yeah, and this is the transition that gets him from head of the leader of the king of the necromongers, or Grand Duke or Emperor, whatever he calls himself, to the planet, I guess, where he is at the beginning of Riddick, which I can't wait to see because I'm goofy and I like those movies. So
Yeah, I like me some Vin D.
yeah,
I was just saying it's hard. He's just one of those guys. It's hard to.
I'm really glad you went for Vin D versus VD.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. Oh well, but I will always do that
Anyways.
for the future. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just that great level of like, don't really take it seriously, but don't
Yep.
really care. You
Yep.
know, it's like that's not a
it's
lot of
rated
people
R.
can pull that off.
This one's got an R rating, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
It's gonna be pretty cool
get some R, some delicious R.
with the
Cannot
VD.
Yeah, some delicious RVD.
VD.
Wonderful.
We've sunk to the lowest we can
Yep.
possibly get on this sucker. For those of three of you who are still with us, congratulations. You've done a hell of a job. We've got ourselves some things that we're going to be giving away. So I need you to be the first, if you're the first people, I guess, to see this, and tweet Jeremy Hoffman at, do we know what Jeremy's Twitter is?
Hoff
Pop
TV. HOFF TV.
So Hoff TV, you will get the first two people, three people. Do we want to give one away to each? How does this work? The first person that
think-
gets to us
I
gets.
think the gaming mouse should be.
I was
its
told this
own.
was figured out beforehand.
It
John.
was the first person that writes us gets these exciting things. A mouse. It's a gaming mouse that apparently is very cool. I don't know.
I mean, it looks
I-
very cool.
It looks
They're
very
all
cool.
branded for Dota 2.
I can't actually touch it, but it
Valve's
looks cool.
Online. Very cool game.
And then you can have yourself a Dota 2 scarf trademarked, which somebody told me yesterday that they go for a fortune on eBay. So you'll be excited to win that and possibly turn around and sell it if you don't want it. So give us a buzz at Twitter at Hoff TV.
At Hoff TV.
At
correct.
Hoff.
Don't bother Santo.
Yeah, don't
He
bother.
doesn't want it.
No. If you want, all I do is tweet out just my 9-word movie reviews. Pretty much, that's all I really tweet out. For those of you who want to follow me,
Or you can tweet Elisa at Snowpiercer fan.
Snowpiercer expert, Brandon.
her love of Snowpiercer just makes me laugh. Anyways, so I guess Elise, where can people find you when they want to find you?
I'm not really a tweeter, but I do have a Twitter. It's at Kiddo116. Kiddo from Kill Bill.
Got it.
Inspiration.
Got it.
But yeah, that is my Twitter. Maybe this will get some activity on it, which I would appreciate because it's pretty stagnant.
Overseas, big time.
Oh
you know?
yeah, I'm gonna be really big with the Korean audience. I think on this one.
Folks, you can always find me at John Santo on the Twitter, and of course, Mr. Jones.
Be
I make
Jonesin'.
Game Trailers VO. If you want to say I'm stupid or say silly things about nerdy stuff, you can hit me up on the Twitters.
So thank you everybody for being here. Next week, Jeremy and Marcus and probably somebody else will be back.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I'd like to be on this more.
You
Hopefully I won't
should.
be busy anymore.
you
You
were.
should stop being busy. What the hell am I
That's
thinking?
yeah. I don't know what you're doing with your
Talking about nerd
choices.
stuff all
Yeah,
day, you
It's
know?
much easier. It's much easier.
Got it all wrong.
How is Trailer Academy coming?
Why are you pressuring me? Oh,
sorry,
God.
I'm sorry. Okay.
It's not coming very good right now, I'll
No.
tell you that much. Not much
All
work
right.
is getting done on it right
We're
now.
all getting back to work then, folks. Thank you very much. Take care.